crazy story from this weekend, Lewis. As you know, I recently moved to New York City. The David Pakman Show is now broadcasting from our headquarters in New York City. That's where I'm living. That's where I am. So I get a call from my mom on Saturday morning around 12:30 in the afternoon. And she says in a voice that is trying to be calm, but clearly is not, is everything okay? And I say, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's going fine. And she says, oh, you have no idea what's been going on. Apparently, Friday night, close to 1 a.m, the phone rings at my mom's house and she picks it up and it's a male voice. It's kind of muffled. He sounds frantic saying, David is in custody. Is David in custody? Did you know David is in custody? And my mom, thinking at least somewhat clearly, even though it had woken her up and she was probably in a haze, says, David who? What's David's last name? And who is this? Who are you? And the caller just saying, why are you doing this? Why did you do it? David's in custody. Of course, this is a very distressing call to get at 1 a.m, but my mom, in the interest of not waking me up and freaking me out at 1 a.m, decided this is probably nothing. I'm just going to hang it up. It's probably some weird scam. I'm going back to bed. 10 minutes later, phone rings again. Same thing. David's in custody, blah, 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 blah. At this point, my mom gets really freaked out, calls the police. Policeman comes out to her house at 1:30 in the morning. He says, I don't really think that this is anything. I'm not really sure. It seems that it's just some kind of scam. Someone's phishing. She says, fine. Next morning, gets another call. Says, okay, if they're still calling me, I'm going to call David and see what's going on. Calls me. I happen to have been in the subway at this time. My phone doesn't ring. Now my mom's really freaking out because she's gotten 3 calls saying I'm in custody. I'm not picking up my phone. I'm in New York City. She has no idea what's going on. She looks up the phone number. She looks up the area code. This is important. And finds that it actually goes back to a conservative part of the country, a very conservative part of a very conservative state. Doesn't matter exactly what it is. And she says, oh no. Someone who doesn't like David because of the show has somehow found my number, even though her last name is different than mine, and is stalking me and is calling me. This is terrible. They have him in custody. Maybe it's not even police custody. Maybe he's been kidnapped. And then she finally gets a hold of me and says, oh, everything's fine. I immediately Google the number because she did she had caller ID. I Google the number. The number comes up as a known scam number. People get scammed saying, hey, your friend is stuck in Germany and they need money to get back. I need childcare right now. I'm going to send you a check for $1,000. Send me back 400. The cashier's check scams. Known scam number. And my mom said, how did you find all of this? And I said, I literally just put the number into Google and all of this came up. And she realized she should have tried the full number in Google, not just the area code, Lewis. But I can only imagine it was a pretty scary 12 hours for her.
Yeah, I would imagine the vast majority of the time this scam never works, but the situation was just right so that it hit a nerve with her.
Exactly. 1 a.m, they mentioned the name David, and who knows, the name David might have been random. It's not an uncommon name. Maybe they called 100 people that night asking about David, and they finally got someone. Who knows? But in any case, it worked, and it freaked her out, but they didn't get any money out of her, and that, I think, is the good thing in this story, if nothing else.